Morning, folks, and welcome back to 3 Zen. The first story I'm going to share with you this morning is a story about a mission that Bob Burke flew while he was flying F-101s up on the northern tier. Now, he was flying the family model. I think they were B models. The Interceptor was crewed with a pilot and a radar intercept officer. And their duty or their job was to launch, go up and find unknown riders and identify them as friendly or foe, and then take action as necessary from there. So this one day, the Burker gets launched with this kid, and from the way he told the story, it was a relatively new guy, just new to the aircraft and actually just fresh out of school. At any rate, off they go. And they found the guy. Apparently he was not a threat, so they came back to recover. While they were up, a snowstorm rolled in, and they kind of knew it was coming, but they didn't anticipate it coming as fast or as hard as it apparently did. So they get back to the base, and Bob flies the approach, only he's not able to find the runway. Not a big deal, it happens. So he goes around, gets set up for another approach, and he kind of briefs the new guy. He says, hey, look, he says, I'm going to need you to be in the scope and help me find the reflectors on the end of the runway so that I can identify it when I get down and we can land. And the kid says, no problem, sir. So they come around again and shoot the approach, and once again, Bob gets down to minimums. He can't find the runway. He doesn't see the runway. Now he's getting concerned. So they go around again and head on to downwind and get set up for a third approach. And Bob looks at his fuel gauges and he tells the kid, he says, hey, look, he says, this is starting to get serious here. He says, if I can't get this thing in this time, he says, we're going to have to find a suitable place and probably bail out. And the kid says, no worries, sir. He says, I'll be prepared. So they come back around and are starting down the glide path and the course to the runway. And about halfway down, Bob hears this kid say, sir? And Bob says, yeah, what's up? He says, what are your numbers? Now, what makes this story so hilarious to those of you who may not be aware is when we got down from a flight, we would fill out the aircraft forms, and often the guy, one or the other, would be carrying the forms. Well, here on this mission, the guy in the back seat had the forms, and so this moron apparently was filling them out on the way down the glide slope, and he needed Bob's social security number. So they're on final approach, maybe a couple miles out, and this kid's concerned with having to leave the aircraft, so he asked Bob what his numbers are so he can complete the forms. Well, as luck would have it, Bob just sat there and went, you got to be shitting me. Anyway, he continues on the approach, finds the runway, and lands, and he's got this great story to share. Sometimes you just don't know. Anyway, welcome back.